Hi everybody, it's Marleigh and Levi. Levi's actually not in here because I am doing a dog food review. And he would be all up on me if I had his dog food in here. I've tried to feed Levi a couple different things. When I first got him, I fed him the rest of what the people before had fed him, and it was pedigree. And pedigree is all fillers, it's really not. I mean, there's people, I'm sure that their dogs have lived to like 25 on it. But as far as quality, there's just really not much there. So I put him on Authority, which is the PetSmart. It's a PetSmart brand. It's only exclusively at PetSmart. And I get a discount on it as an employee, so I started him on that one. And even, they actually have a grain-free version now. Even the grain-free version, he just really didn't do well on. I mean, it just didn't agree with his digestive system somehow. Now, my little dog, Cooper, he eats the regular version, not grain-free or anything, and he does fine on it. Lots of people's dogs do fine on it. It just didn't agree with Levi's system. Even the grain-free. He was really gassy, he was having really runny poops, and it was just not, I mean, it was to the point that he's completely potty trained, but he was like having diarrhea in the house because he just couldn't hold it. So that was not one for us. Then I put him on Iams, and it's a little, it's a pretty affordable one, and they had a reduced grain out at the time, that had no corn, wheat, or soy. So it still had, I think, barley and rice or something, but I mean, it was reduced grain. And he did really well on that. He did fine on it. Now they have replaced it with a grain-free version. So I guess, even better, I guess. And he did fine on it. I just really wanted something a little more high quality to feed him, just because I feel like he does so much for me, and I need him in top working condition. I need to keep him as long as I can. So I wanted to bump him up. That was my decision. He did fine on the Iams. I just wanted something a little more high quality. And I read about Bil-Jac. We had a book called Feeding Champions that Bil-Jac wrote all about the history and the way they make the food and everything like that in our break room. And so I read it, and I really love the company. It's family run. And just the way they run it is really what I respected. And before I even saw the food, before I even tested the food out. And so I really liked it. We tried a grain version, and he still just couldn't do the grains. So we backed off of it a while. They have a grain-free version now. Oh, I meant to bring the other. Well, there's a grain-free, and then at PetSmart you can also find a reduced grain called Farmer's Bounty. That the only grain in it is oatmeal. So there's that. I didn't do that one because they're the same price, and I just felt it would be safer to go grain-free with him since we've had issues with grains in the past. But, so you can go to Bil-Jac and look up the whole story of them. They use a ton of fresh chicken. I think it's like 19 pounds of fresh chicken for a 24-pound bag or something crazy like that. No byproducts or anything like that. No grains or fillers. And it's a really palatable food. That was one of their big, they started out not with a dried, this is dry. But they didn't start out with a dried version. They started out with like a freeze-packed version. And that was their big selling point, is dogs who won't touch anything else will eat Bil-Jac. I don't know if that still rings true of the dried version or not, but that was one of their big selling points back in the day. Now, just about the food itself. I'm going to move a little bit closer so you can see it better. This is what the food looks like. It's in these little pieces, and you'll see it breaks apart very easily. So it's not, that's one thing I've been told with this, is you have to make sure and brush their teeth and take care of their teeth with it, because there's not a kibble that they're chomping down as much. It's hard, but it's much softer. If you put it in water next to a regular kibble, the water ones will float because of all the fat and stuff in them. These just very slowly break up. They disintegrate. They're really easy on the digestive system from what I've read. And the smell is another thing that got me. Like, not even kidding, I mean, it has a smell, but it smells good. Like, it smells kind of crackery or something like that. My other dog food, even the grain-free one that Aspen is on, if I get a bag of it and leave it in my car, I can't stand the way it smells. It stinks my entire car up. I hate the smell of dog food. I despise the smell of dog food. This does not have that awful dog food smell. You can leave it in the Texas heat, 100 degrees in your car, and it will not stink up your car. Also, the texture. It's very dry, whereas a lot of these other dog foods, you touch them and your hands are like kind of oily, and they have like this nasty film on them. Not so with this stuff. It's very dry, and you can see how easily it breaks apart. If y'all want to, on a different video, I can dissolve some in water so you can see how quickly, how it breaks up. So I'm more than welcome to do that. you know, I should just keep sitting here. Like, I'm actually in the perfect place sitting right here. Sorry, my mind is just, I've worked in a full shift and I just got off and my mind's kind of everywhere. But yeah, so I feel like, he hasn't been on it very long, but I feel like he's shedding less. And I feel like he's just doing better on it. You know, I want to give him something really high quality that'll really benefit him, and that will, I can kind of thank him for all the work that he does, and I can keep him with me as long as possible. So we love Bil-Jac so far. It has not upset his stomach. We've got him on some probiotics for other reasons, but it doesn't seem to have, you know, bothered him. His personality hasn't changed in any way, which it did when he was on the grains. So we stick with the grain-free. It runs at PetSmart. It's about $50 to $55 for a 24-pound bag. And he goes through that in about a month. He eats 3 cups a day. So it's a little more expensive, but I feel like it's well worth it. And I don't have the bag right now. I have one in my car. But if y'all have any questions about the ingredients or what's in it or what the bag looks like or how to find it, just post below and let me know. But it's a great company. I've read a lot about them, and it's a great food from what I can tell. I mean, it's just the experience holding the food itself is a lot different than regular dog food. And I don't know if he's truly shedding less, but it kind of feels like it used to. I could just pull hair off of him. I mean, he just shed so bad. And I tried it the other day, and there's less hair on his gear. I feel like there's less hair on my bed. I mean, he sleeps on my bed every night. So yeah, there's dog hair all over it. But, I mean, I feel like it's less. I feel like I'm pulling less off of him, whereas before it would just come off all over his vest. He actually got banned from the couch of my therapist because he shed all over it. So, I mean, it's just, you know, I feel like that's a lot better. And I'm looking at even maybe decreasing his food a little bit because I feel like he's just getting more that sticks to his bones, so we might be able to bump him down. He's very high energy, and he does fine on this with, you know, like 2 cups a day. And he doesn't really get any extras besides a couple supplements and training treats every now and then. So, it holds him up really good, and we've just had a really good experience with it so far. So, I'll probably put the website below if I can remember to. And yeah, it's just a great product, and we've had good success with it. So, let us know, you know, if you've tried it, if you've liked it, what dog foods you use, if you feed raw, and just, I mean, give us some feedback here. Let us see what's worked for you and your dog. So, that's video number 2 for tonight, and hopefully I will maybe get one more out before I collapse into bed. So, see you guys in the next one.